welcome to the channel. Today we are in the north and we're going to explore a city that is very well known near Porto, and welcome to Santa Maria da Feira. Come on, let's go.
What if you could step back nearly 1,000 years without leaving modern Portugal? Welcome to Santa Maria da Feira, a city where towering castle walls dominate the skyline. Medieval traditions are still celebrated with incredible passion, and every cobble street tells a story that stretches back to the birth of Portugal itself. Located just 30 kilometers south of Porto, in northern Portugal, Santa Maria da Feira is one of the country's most fascinating historical destinations. While many visitors rush between Porto and Aveiro, this remarkable city often remains overlooked, a hidden treasure waiting to be explored. Today, we're discovering its magnificent castle, century-old sculptures, lively town center, local traditions, and the festival that transforms the entire city into one of Europe's greatest medieval spectacles. This is Santa Maria da Feira. The city's unusual name has a fascinating origin. Long before there was a castle, merchants gather here every week to trade goods. The word feira means market or fair. The Santa Maria part comes from an ancient chapel dedicated to the Virgin Mary that stood beside the marketplace. Over time, the market became one of northern Portugal's most important commercial centers, attracting traders from across the Iberian Peninsula. The settlement grew steadily throughout the Middle Ages, becoming increasingly wealthy and strategically important. By the 11th century, powerful noble families recognized the importance of controlling this area. That decision would forever shape the city's future.
stopped by a coffee shop and to try the very typical desserts here in Santa Maria da Feira, and these are called the fugassa. And so we're gonna go and try them out and find out. Let me go ahead and try this. Very tasty, yeah, very nice. So if you come to Santa Maria da Feira, ask for a fugassa.
It is widely regarded as one of Portugal's finest medieval castles and one of the country's best preserved military fortresses. Although defensive structures existed here much earlier, the castle seen today was mainly built between the 11th and 15th centuries. Its imposing granite walls, elegant towers, and commanding position allow defenders to monitor the surrounding lands for miles. Unlike many castles that became ruins over time, Santa Maria da Feira's castle survived centuries of wars, political upheaval, and changing rulers. Walking through its gates feels like entering another world. The castle wasn't simply an isolated fortress. It stood at the heart of some of the most important events in Portuguese history. During the early formation of the Kingdom of Portugal, this region became a strategic stronghold. Powerful nobles controlled the surrounding territory while supporting the young kingdom as it fought for independence. Throughout the centuries, the castle witnessed political alliances, royal visits, noble rivalries, and military campaigns. Every generation added something new. Walls were reinforced, towers expanded, living quarters modernized. The result is a unique architectural masterpiece reflecting nearly 500 years of medieval engineering. Narrow staircases lead to defensive towers. Arrow slits reveal how archers once defended the fortress. The impressive keep rises high above everything else, providing spectacular panoramic views over the town and surrounding countryside. One of the castle's most remarkable features is its blend of military strength and noble elegance. It wasn't merely built for war. It also served as the residence of influential Portuguese noble families, whose wealth and power shaped the region for generations. Today, the castle is considered one of Portugal's greatest medieval monuments and has become the symbol of Santa Maria da Feira itself. The quiet city transforms into Europe's largest medieval festival, known as Viagem Medieval or Medieval Journey. This event attracts hundreds of thousands of visitors from Portugal and around the world. For nearly 2 weeks, modern life seems to disappear. Cars give way to horses. Citizens exchange modern clothing for medieval costumes. Knights duel in thrilling tournaments. Falconers demonstrate ancient hunting traditions. Craftsmen recreate forgotten trades. Fire performers light up the night. Street musicians fill every square with medieval melodies. Market overflow with handmade crafts, traditional foods, and historical demonstrations. The castle becomes the centerpiece of enormous theatrical performances that recreate legendary moments from Portuguese history. It's far more than a festival. It's an immersive, historical experience unlike anything else in Europe. So, if you are in Portugal or around this area, and this week, it just started right now. So, when this video comes out, the medieval journey it's going on. So go ahead and visit. This is a historic state and public park located on the slopes of the castle. It's a fairy tale like woodland filled with majestic centenary trees like sequoias, beeches, cedars, has a lake, a bridge, and a beautiful artificial cave. It serves as the primary venue for famous local festivals, including Perling, a massive Christmas theme park, the Medieval Journey, going on right now, and Imaginarius, which is a street art festival. The current building dates mainly from the 16th and 17th centuries, although there was likely an earlier medieval church on near the same site serving the population living around the castle. As Santa Maria da Feira became an important administrative and commercial center during the Middle Ages, the parish grew in importance alongside with it. One of the church's most fascinating features is that it is physically connected to the former convent of Loyos. The monastery was founded in the 15th century for the congregation of the canons of Saint John the Evangelist, better known in Portugal as the Loyos. These priests became influential educators and spiritual advisors throughout northern Portugal. The convent remained active until 1834, when Portugal dissolved the religious orders during the Liberal Wars. The convent buildings were later adapted for civic uses and today form an important part of the historic center. The interior of the church contains beautiful gilded wood carving decorating several chapels, elaborate Baroque altarpieces, traditional Portuguese azulejo tile panels, religious paintings and sculptures dating from the 17th and 18th centuries. A peaceful atmosphere that contrasts with the busy historic street outside. The church witnessed many of the defining moments in the town's history. For centuries it served as the principal parish church of Santa Maria da Feira, a center for baptisms, marriages, and funerals of local noble families, a place of worship for soldiers stationed at the nearby castle, and also a gathering place during religious festivals and civic celebrations. Because of its close relationship with both the castle and the convent, the church became one of the symbols of Santa Maria's spiritual and civic identity. The construction of the present building began around 1689 and 1690. The church is an excellent example of the Portuguese architecture called chão, plain style, that became popular during the late 17th century. A simple, symmetrical facade, a single bell tower, a spacious single nave, clean geometric proportions rather than elaborate exterior decoration. The interior contains several remarkable works of art. Among its highlights are a Baroque high altar dating from the reign of King Pedro II, a beautifully preserved coffered ceiling over the chancel, a 15th century limestone statue carved from unsun stone depicting a bishop saint, an impressive Nossa Senhora das Dores, Our Lady of Sorrows, sculpture from the late 18th century, and fine liturgical silverwork including a gilded monstrance, pyx, and chalice dating from the 17th and 18th centuries. The church was classified as a monument of public interest in 2012. Recognizing its architectural, artistic, and historical significance. Recent conservation projects have focused on restoring not only the church itself, but also its staircase, gardens, surrounding spaces, and historic collections so they can be better appreciated by visitors. Whether you're passionate about medieval history, architecture, photography, or simply discovering places beyond the usual tourist trail, Santa Maria da Feira delivers an unforgettable experience.
And this is it. We've come to the end of our adventure today. I hope you enjoyed Santa Maria da Feira. They are getting ready for their medieval festival at the end of July. So if you can, come and enjoy the festivities. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!